Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the NWR Virtual Healthcare Day for November 2021. My name is Finn Blake, and I will be your host for this session. Up next this afternoon, we have Aroa Biosurgery. Aroa, a regenerative medicine company, engages in the developing, manufacturing, and selling of medical devices for wound and tissue repair using its extracellular matrix technology. It has a focus on the United States market, but also sells its products into other geographies internationally. Aroa's technology is derived from the forestomach of sheep, which has led to 6 patented product families targeting chronic wounds, hernia, soft tissue, and breast reconstruction. Presenting today will be the CEO, Brian Ward. Before we do get into it, I'd love to invite the audience to submit a question for the Q&A during the session, which will be answered upon the end of the presentation. So without further ado, I'll hand it straight over to you, Brian.
Finn, thanks very much for having me here today, and a real pleasure to join this conference. So I'm going to go through our presentation, give a quick overview of Aroa. I'm then happy to take questions, as Finn said. So just briefly, Aroa at a glance. So we're a high-growth soft tissue regeneration company. The company was established 13 years ago, so very well established. We have all of the functions that you'd expect to see within a vertically integrated medical device company. Our revenue guidance for this financial year, ending March 2022, is $34 to $37 million in revenue. So we recently upgraded our guidance from 30 to 33. So things are tracking really well for us in terms of revenue growth in the US. This is 58 to 71% higher than our revenue for last year. Gross margins are also improving, so we expect gross margins to be in the range of 73 to 75% this year, again up on last year, which was 68%. This is a very well-established family of products. We've treated over 4.5 million patients with our products. Most of those patients have been in the United States. We have 6 commercial patented product families that we sell in the US, over 100 SKUs. So these products are designed for a range of different use cases, but predominantly around regenerating soft tissue in patients that have complex wounds or soft tissue injuries. We have regulatory approvals outside the US in 49 countries. So while most of our focus is on the US, we're also beginning to expand into other international territories. All of our products are based on our proprietary Aroa ECM platform. So this is a technology that is extracellular matrix. I'll talk a little bit about this in a minute. And it's a platform that our existing products are based on, but we also have a lot of opportunity for new applications from this platform technology. And it's also something that's incorporated into our new dead space management platform. There's a large body of scientific and clinical evidence that sits behind our products. So we have over 32 peer-reviewed publications. So that body of evidence has been established over a long period of time. For the products that are commercial in the US now, in the US alone, the total addressable market for those products is in excess of $2.5 billion. So a very substantial opportunity in front of the company for growth over the coming years. We have 170 people employed by Aroa. Here in New Zealand, we have our development, manufacturing, regulatory, quality, finance corporate team. In the US, it's predominantly our sales and commercial team. So just briefly, when you think about soft tissue reconstruction, really there's 2 types of technology that are used in these applications. There's synthetic technologies and biologic technologies. Typically, synthetics are used in the less complicated, high volume procedures. Biologics tend to be used in those procedures where they're much more complex and the patient has impaired healing. Biologics have this unique property to be able to encourage the regeneration of tissue, unlike synthetics. However, biologics have tended to be rationed to only the most severe patients. And the reason for that is they're very expensive compared to synthetics. What Aroa has done is develop a world-leading biologic at a very affordable price. And what this allows us to do is to be able to price our product much more competitively and allow our products to be more accessible to a wide range of patients. So we're able to provide many more patients with the benefits of biologic products. We're also able to compete very well with the top end synthetics. So it opens up a really large market opportunity for Aroa's products. So very briefly, what we do is we isolate a specific layer of tissue from the forestomach of sheep. This is then purified in a way that we remove all of the cells and cell contents which would cause the body to react against them. We retain the structure of the extracellular matrix, which is the framework for tissue regeneration, but also important signaling molecules that sit within that extracellular matrix. And so this provides a foundation for cells to move into and start to rebuild soft tissue rapidly. This material has some very unique properties. So it's very porous, which means cells can move into it quickly. It also has a very high level of blood vessels that flow through it. So when it's purified, it provides a framework for blood vessels to regenerate and regrow. And what we see in clinical use is really rapid re-establishment of a blood supply into the area where this product is used. So this material is processed by us, and then it becomes a building block for a wide range of different medical devices. So in some cases, our products are solely comprised of this material in different formats. In other products, like our hernia products, we combine the biologic material with synthetics to provide additional strength and durability over time. So in terms of our product range, we have products for complex wounds, so Endoform, natural and endoform antimicrobial, used in complex wounds, as is our Symphony product. OviTex and OviTex PRS are used for hernia and breast reconstruction, and Myriad is a product that's used for general soft tissue reconstruction, whether that be dermally, so on the skin, or implanted into the body for soft tissue reinforcement. Some of these products are sold directly by Aroa in the US through our own direct field sales team. Other products are sold through a partnership with a company called TALA Bio, which is a NASDAQ listed company, who sell solely our products for use in soft tissue regeneration applications. And we also have a new pipeline product, which is our dead space management system based on our core technology. So when you sort of think about the markets that we operate in, the complex wound market is a very large, well-established market. You know, typically, when we're talking about complex wounds, these are things like diabetic ulcers, venous ulcers, pressure ulcers, very hard to heal wounds, typically in older, compromised patients. Our technology provides a building block to establish new tissue in these patients and help them build tissue over time. Our Endoform products can be used in the initial phases of healing, and then our Symphony product, which will be commercialized next year, will be used towards the end of that healing process to really accelerate the rate of healing in the latter stages of healing. Our Myriad products are used for surgical soft tissue reconstruction, typically in the operating room. So examples of this would be in trauma, where tumours are being resected, in general surgery, and in some of the inflammatory skin diseases like hidradenitis suppurativa, pilonidal cysts, necrotizing fasciitis. So there's a range of soft tissue conditions where surgeons need to be able to reconstruct soft tissue and regenerate that soft tissue over time. Half of our business comes through TALA Bio, and they're responsible for selling our OviTex products, which is the biologic reinforced with synthetic fibers, and our OviTex product for soft tissue reconstruction, predominantly breast reconstruction. You can see here that the market opportunity for each of these, for both Aroa and TALA Bio is, it's close to $1.5 billion each. So just an examples of, what our products look like. So Myriad Matrix is a multi-layered biologic. This product is used for soft tissue reconstruction, has a very specific engineering to allow very rapid cell migration into this material. Contrast that with OviTex or Myriad Ultra. This is a multi-layered version of our product, reinforced with either permanent or resorbable synthetic fibers, designed specifically for use where there's a large load on this material. It has to be robust over time. So, when you think about, what's going to really drive growth for Aroa, I think there's a number of things that are really important. I think the first thing is that we're moving into a period where we're moving past the worst of COVID in the US. So, we've seen vaccinations make a big difference in the US, and surgical procedures come back online, certainly since February this year. So, we're seeing hernia procedures and breast procedures, while not back to levels pre-COVID, certainly up at good levels where we can grow. So we're also seeing that a change that we made early in the year, where we transitioned from a joint venture sales team to our own dedicated sales team, has made a big difference as well. So we now have 27 direct, fully dedicated sales professionals selling Myriad, and that's really beginning to drive growth. We're seeing a big uptick in Myriad sales, and solid growth on last year. So we're very optimistic about our Myriad products and how growth will, the growth that we'll get out of those products over the next 12 to 24 months. We're also seeing very good momentum coming through from TELA Bio. So this is on the back of a number of things, very good clinical outcomes from the Bravo studies and other studies that have been published recently, showing very low rates of reoccurrence. We're also seeing the Health Trust contract make a big difference for TELA Bio as well. They've upgraded their guidance to 54 to 65% growth this year compared to last year, and we're certainly seeing them, quarter on quarter, continue to grow really strongly. We're also beginning to see synergies between our products offer us an advantage. So we're beginning to see products like Myriad be used inpatient, and then the surgeon be able to use products like Endoform in their doctor's office when they're not in the surgery. So we're able to provide surgeons with products that they can use across the whole continuum of care, and that's something that they value, and that's something that's certainly making our offering quite unique. So we think over time, those synergies between our products, the ability to start with one product, transition to another for a different purpose or a different site of care, is really going to make our portfolio attractive to physicians. Our clinical data for our products is really starting to show a very strong, consistent picture. We're seeing, low rates of complication compared to competing products. So we're seeing our products be able to be used in these complex procedures and not lead to the same level of complications that are seen with other products. We're seeing consistently our products demonstrate rapid tissue regeneration. So the rate of new tissue formation seems to be, markedly improved with our products. And this is important because it allows patients to be treated earlier with other procedures, or it allows them to be discharged from hospital quicker. We're also seeing that consistently our material results in very well vascularized tissue, and this is important for preventing infection, but also in terms of being able to support the growth of that tissue. We're also seeing that these products are commonly being used in surgical sites where those surgical sites are infected, and we're not seeing rates of complication that are typically seen with other products. So again, that's very encouraging. Recently, we signed an extension to our Health Trust agreement, and both Myriad and Myriad Morcells were added to this contract. Health Trust is a very important GPO in the US. Over 1,500 hospitals belong to Health Trust. It's for-profit, typically for-profit hospitals, very compliant hospitals, which mean that if you're on their formulary, typically your products get used, and that Health Trust doesn't allow other products to come into those hospitals as well. So we're in a very unique position with Health Trust, really well set up to grow within these accounts. We have a strong pipeline of products coming through, so we have opportunities to extend and make some line extensions to our existing product portfolio. We have this new dead space management system that we're developing, and we expect the first commercial sales of that product in calendar year 23. We're also pushing forward with global expansion. So we now have 21 distributors appointed internationally. Typically what we're doing outside the US is working with local distributors on a country-by-country basis and putting in place partnerships with those local distributors. So making some really good progress there as well. So I'm going to pass it back to you, Finn, now for questions.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Brian. I will kick it off from my end. First one is, from a competitive landscape perspective, what do you think that are the key things that set Aroa apart?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things. So it's the performance of the product, and it's the value that we offer to hospitals. And so from a performance perspective, I think the material, our products generally perform very well compared to the leading products in the sector. And I say that, as a general statement, but we can also back that up with good clinical evidence. So the rate of tissue formation, the quality of that tissue, the lack of complications compares very well to the leading products in the US. On the value side, I think our offering is very compelling. I mean, we're typically 25 to 40% less expensive than those leading products. So what we're able to do is offer cost savings, but also offer the opportunity for these products to be used in many more patients. And I think that's very much valued by hospitals as well. So I think that combination is really unique in the market.
For sure. Brian, how much of a focus is that scaling up with the new manufacturing capacity you're bringing online there in Auckland?
Yeah, so we put a big investment into increasing our manufacturing capacity. We're moving from about $35 million in revenue, capacity for about $35 million in revenue to about $100 million in revenue. The facility construction is almost complete, so we expect to complete that in December, and that new facility will come online and be commissioned in March. So we're really pleased with how that's tracking. We see that growth trajectory in front of us, and so we're trying to keep ahead of that by putting that capacity in place.
Got time for one last one. What is the main reason you're confident in the Aroa business as we approach the new year?
Yeah, I think the thing for me is just seeing really strong signals coming through in terms of adoption and access into accounts. And, for example, with Health Trust, we got the Health Trust contract recently. We're now in 16 Health Trust accounts. We've had 8 new ones over the last couple of months. So there's just a really good signal of, that our offering is really resonating with healthcare providers and hospitals.
Beautiful. Brian Ward, thank you so much for your time today.
Great. Thank you very much.